All right, y'all. So your underlying energy is the Three of Pentacles. So this is about plans for the future, planning the future with a person or a group of people. This can also indicate that you're trying to see or like look at what potential future there may be. Trying to see what both people have to offer to even consider consider planning for the future. I think that you had the Four of Swords, so definitely reflection was a part of that, or there was a period of pause between you and this individual. Like something, there was something here that was on hold for a little bit, but everything's back on the market, if that makes sense. Now, the heart of your reading is the Empress. So that tells me right there that there may be a desire to be, to kind of domesticate, become more exclusive, to live in the same facility. Now, at the same time, this could also indicate that this is about creating abundance, creating something of, that you see a value, right? This could be something that's financial. This could be something emotional, right? It doesn't have to actually have to be anything, always like money wise. It could be this abundance is happiness, But ultimately, the challenge you have going on here is to take control of that. For some of you guys, it may be that there is a bit of control issues, but I feel like ultimately this is about taking action, taking control of your life, taking control and making making opportunities and creating scenarios or creating situations to start having your dream come true. Okay, because there's no action taking place right now. There's a lot of passivity, and I feel like right now there is a need to take control. And the reason why has a lot to do with your confidence, I think, because you have two cards in here that really signify confidence. Now, what I like to see is that you guys are in your past. I mean, this like you guys were, you guys are coming from your own energy here. This is Gemini energy here, Knight of Swords. But you definitely went into this charging in with what you believed in, knowing what knowing what you wanted, knowing what you're going for. Right? You're not gonna go. You didn't go into it, not knowing what the hell you're going to be fighting for. You were definitely moving fast. I think there were some things that you're definitely making happen in your life. But now you have some sort of transition, right? You're leaving one phase of your life and entering a new one. And that's great, right? I feel like you guys are entering a new one because, of course, you fought for it. You made it happen. You guys really worked toward it. But now there is a new beginning that's underway, and there is this you're gonna need to take control of that too in order for that to move forward. But what we have here is the High Priestess. Now, there's nothing totally wrong with the High Priestess because you may have no idea how to move forward, but taking those steps forward is good enough because you're gonna be trusting your intuition and you're gonna be relying on faith. But the thing here is with the High Priestess and the Chariot, it's almost like you're waiting on something, or you're waiting, not waiting. This is not necessarily a wait card, the High Priestess, but there's not a lot of action being taken. It's almost like you're passive about making the move. You're kind of yinning this. You're waiting for someone else to take the helm. Now, for some of you guys, this may be actually a pretty good thing, especially if you guys feel like you've been carrying the relationship. But for some of you guys, if this is what you want, why would it be someone else's responsibilities to start something that you want to do? Because that's not their dream; it's your dream. The same thing, the same difference with with Empress. You want to create this, and sure, you may be planning for the future with someone else to create this thing, but at the same time, this is ultimately what you want at the end of the day, right? I don't see this as someone else's dream that you're compromising with, because I don't see this as someone else's desire. I read this kind of energy as you guys. So I don't. I mean, but it could be that you're dealing with someone else's agenda and you're waiting for them to start. But maybe there's some things that are going on that do need you do need to take control of at this moment, because there's not a lot of control at this moment. Somebody's not taking the helm. Someone's not balancing their head and their heart to get some momentum going. Someone may also not be seeing the victory of their completion of the cycle, and and somebody may not be feeling this creative moment, right? Which just makes sense, but you got a lot of observer cards as well. Three of Pentacles, the Hermit, the High Priestess, they're all observer cards to me. They all watch, they all listen, they all develop some sort of understanding. And that is one thing that is interesting to me, right? Because If this is about you taking control, then this observation is perhaps to try to, figure out what you need to continue to push forward. What you need? Maybe strength, confidence in yourself, determination, remembering your goals and your, what you want, right? And healing those, those areas where you feel like you don't have enough, or maybe you don't feel like, you can continue or you can start something new, you know. But we're going on to this, right, with the future being strength. Okay, so strength, like I was saying before, this could be that there's a bit of confidence issues, a bit of doubt in the self, but this could also indicate that you do, excuse me, excuse me, wow, that sneeze was weird. Okay, sorry about that. But I can also get this feeling that with strength here in the future, that you do end up finding what you need, that the taming that energy and pushing forward, moving, continuing to, make stuff happen. It may not be exactly 100% desirable. You may have to tame a lot of those urges that you've got, because you're going from impulsive energy to controlled energy here, okay? And I do feel like you're just kind of making the steps that you need, taking the steps that you need to take in order to create the abundance that you started out trying to manifest. Okay, I do feel like this has a lot to do with this. With I feel like strength has a lot to do with your confidence right now, because of where you are, right? The world. You see this as a need to kind of push through and to really utilize willpower to get through it, because it's not an easy feat. This situation may not, you may be going through some difficult times, especially when it comes to being patient, because I think this situation too has a lot to do with patience. I think you guys are tired of waiting, tired of doing all this stuff where you're having to, be, passive and all this stuff. But I think at the same time, right, I think there is this element of patience that's needed here, because something that you're trying to manifest will not be able to happen overnight. So there's a lot of work, there's a lot of slow, grueling process that's going to come to that. But there's also development in the self that's associated with that patience that's coming with what you're trying to manifest. If this is a relationship, if this is like getting a home together, if this is about thinking about children, you're going to want to have that moment in time where you're going to have to take it, a step at a time, to not only understand your partner and the situation associated with it, but yourself. So so your goal and ambition is the Hermit. Some of you guys want to just peel away and take a vacation, and I feel like some of you guys also just want to just reflect and kind of go within the self and see what's going on in that, right? To develop yourself, right? Because the Hermit is the ninth card in the Major Arcana tarot, the Major Arcana portion of the tarot, before the Wheel of Fortune, right? Which is, a second chance, another opportunity at something. And I feel like with the Hermit being here, it is talking about finding yourself in, reflecting on your needs, reflecting on those, the parts of you that don't feel like you have everything that you wanted, or feel like you have everything that, within yourself. Honestly, the Hermit is a very empowering card. You look for yourself for strength. You look within yourself for courage. You look within yourself for, signs of power, and you have all these things, but only you can see those. No one else could tell you that they're there. No one else could help you with that. That's why the Hermit is the Hermit, because only he could see the details of his own making and of his own interworkings. So it makes sense with the High Priestess. You're kind of in a very meditative state right now, because this situation that's coming up is going to require willpower, and you want to it could be that you don't feel like you have everything, not that you don't feel like you have everything, but you just feel like, you need this sort of time to gather your strength to push this forward, if that makes sense. It's because it's gonna take a little bit. It looks like it's gonna take some time, and you want to have that patience within you. Have the patience already set, and understand that you do have the capability, the dedication, and the focus to get through this, even if it is a long-term situation, right? If it's a long-term, building process. Now your outcome is showing the Queen of Pentacles. So for some of you guys could be seeing a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. It doesn't have to be, because you guys got other cards in here. You got Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus here. It's Leo. I don't know. I don't know what hers is, to be honest, with the high priestess. So high priestess, there's a lot of things, a lot of speculation of what the high priestess sign would be. But I'm just gonna leave that as just trusting your intuition at this moment, because this could be anybody, right? The high priestess is a communicate. She doesn't share that. She's the keeper of secrets, the knowledge. She's the all-knowing, pretty much. And you got Virgo here, right? So it's all, and sometimes this could indicate a planet as well. Some of the major arcana cards that come up, they don't always have to mean signs. They could also, they don't always have to, have a sign associated with them. Like, for instance, the Tower, that's not a sign card. That's that's a planet card. That's more of that's associated with the planet Mars, right? Taking action. I see it as a card for Uranus because Mars doesn't do anything unexpectedly. He's all action orientated, but Uranus is more the unexpected, the sudden changes, the innovation, the starting fresh, the new beginning, right? So but that's just preference as far as readers go. So everybody reads very differently, guys. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say in a nutshell. But the Queen of Pentacles in your outcome does indicate that you become more patient, you become more focused, you become more routine and structured, more grounded in this process as well. And that's, I feel like, what you're seeking, trying to find that grounded energy. Because right now you just want to go, 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 but everything's saying like, yeah, okay, but it's gonna take some time. So you might want to slow that down. Okay. You see what you got here for your messenger oracle for this next couple weeks here. Oh, okay. Do not fear the unknown. That is the message of the messenger of the oracle. And it looks scary. A lot of the times, some things can be really, creepy. Because look at that. The world's starting, but you don't know what's gonna come in. You don't know what's gonna happen. You're gonna have to just kind of wing it, feel things through. You don't have a structure. You're gonna have to just ride that wave and see where it takes you. And that can be a little nerve-wracking sometimes. But it's all about trusting your intuition, trusting yourself, building that confidence. We've got cards that indicate confidence here. Building that confidence to be able to push through the unknown, push through the difficult times to see it through. It's going to require dedication, that's for sure. The ugly is not always bad and bad and evil, and the beautiful is not always good and just. Failure is not predetermined, nor is it a given that others laugh at you if you choose to follow your dreams. It is your fear of the unknown that makes you question and judge. Do not let another's experience be don't let the other's experience be the truth that guides you. Do not allow your fear of an unknown outcome to hold you prisoner. Your own experience can be both different and rewarding. Live. Nice, nice, nice. So let's go ahead and take a look-see at your wisdom of the oracle now. Okay. I saw that. It was here and now. Here and now, fella, again. Wow. Alright then. Alright, here and now. I guess you really need this message. Guys, live in the moment. That's what this thing is saying. Live in the moment. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about anything that's coming in. Just live in the moment. Don't worry about focusing on the future. I think there's a lot of stuff, with the Three of Pentacles coming up. This is a lot of emphasis on what the future has to offer. What can you do with what you know, with what you got? How can this carry on over to the next cycle? And right now, you are in a good spot with the World card. You're transitioning. You have the new beginning is coming. You will take action on that. You will do what needs to be done when it crosses over, when it's time. But until that it's time, take this moment now to just be free from any sort of obligations, any attachments, anything like that, because you're not of any service at this moment to do anything, right? Because nothing's happening, right? Nothing. I feel like there is some things happening. There's a lot of things happening, but Take that step at a time and be in the moment, right? Don't worry about things. And that's what do not fear the unknown talks about too. It talks about just being in the moment. Don't worry about what's to come. Don't worry about other, BS that comes your way, because it'll happen. It'll come. You'll be dealing with it, but it's not going to happen immediately. And until that happens, you're just going to have to sit tight. You know what I mean? There's no worries here. No worries. But all right, family, and yeah, and take the time to look within yourself, find your courage, find your strength, find your confidence in yourself. If you don't have it, if you already have that independence, then that message don't resonate. Then that's cool, right? That's a good thing, But if it doesn't, that's a good thing too. It doesn't matter what happens or doesn't happen, whatever you have or don't have. Everything is meant to happen for a reason, and you're on the right path because there is no other way to know if you're not.